Another day, another article daydreaming about the possibilities of Patrick Mahomes and Hollywood Brown. At this point, it is rote, it is predictable, it is mundane, it is simply silly. And so we're going to play right along. In an article titled Best New Quarterback Wide Receiver Combos for the 2024 NFL Season, CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs among most promising duos from NFL.com, pinned by Kevin Patra, we get the following quote: quarterback Patrick Mahomes, wide receiver Marquise Brown. I went back and forth on whether to highlight this duo or Patrick Mahomes / Xavier Worthy. For this exercise, I went with the veteran combo, but I do think Mahomes Worthy could produce at a similar level as Mahomes and Marquise Brown. Last season, Mahomes guided a patchwork receiver group to another Super Bowl title, with a big helping hand from tight end Travis Kelce and the Chiefs' shutdown defense. Imagine what he can do with actual weapons. Brown has his flaws. The 2019 first-round pick has cleared the 1,000-yard mark in just one season so far, and he posted a career-low 574 yards in 14 games with Arizona last season. He spent his first three campaigns in the run-first Greg Roman offense alongside Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Then, after a trade to the Cardinals, he shared the field with Kyler Murray in just 10 full games over 2 seasons. Not exactly ideal situations for maximizing production. Health is a concern for the 27-year-old wideout coming off another season-ending injury. But if anyone can help him reach new heights, it's Mahomes. Brown is anecdotally thought of as a field stretcher, which can be accurate. It can be an accurate description. He owns the speed to win deep and perhaps will show that off more with Mahomes. But where he's won more consistently in his career is in the intermediate 10 to 19 yard range. For his career, Brown boasts a 61.1 reception EPA on targeted air yards on intermediate passes per next gen stats. On throws of all other distances, he's in the negative EPA. Luckily for Brown, Mahomes does his best work on intermediate throws. It's easy to envision an offensive setup in Kansas City where Worthy plays the role of blow the top off speed receiver while Brown patrols the intermediate level. This would give the Chiefs the ability to pester defenses consistently at every level. Now, a couple of things worth talking about here. We bring this up. Worthy playing the role of blow the top off the defense speed receiver while Brown patrols the intermediate level. Then we get the quote, this would give the Chiefs the ability to pester defenses consistently at every level. Well, that is not including the short stuff where Rashee Rice excelled in his rookie season, assuming, of course, that Rashee Rice does get to play in this upcoming season. This is excluding also, by the way, the short stuff and the stuff in the middle of the field where Travis Kelce excels. This is excluding those same areas where we imagine rookie tight end Jared Wiley will be doing the bulk of his receiving work. So, even in articles where the author is attempting to have fun with the idea of Hollywood Brown being a deep threat for the Kansas City Chiefs, that author cannot help but subvert his own article, his own premise by saying, look, Xavier Worthy is going to be the deep threat, and Hollywood Brown will be the guy that works the 10 to 19 yard space. Well, here's news for you. Xavier Worthy is really good at running routes in the 10 to 19 yard realm as well. as I have said many times on the channel, if you watch any of Xavier Worthy playing football that is not just a compilation of 40-yard passes or short receptions that he takes the distance, what you're going to see is a guy who has extremely good stoppability. Now, I have not necessarily seen the stop and start ability, but I have definitely seen stop ability. So he's someone who's going to be able to cut off routes and be open that way. The moment a cornerback flips his hips, Xavier Worthy's going to be able to pull up, turn around, and have the ball delivered. I don't know that I have seen the same stop ability out of Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Brown, if I'm assuming that the stats that our author is quoting are true stats, there must be something in Hollywood's game that he is able to excel in the 10 to 19 yard realm. Now, I want to take a look at some other stats. This is something we've done here on the channel a couple of times, looking at the career lows and career highs that Mahomes just went through on his route to a second consecutive Super Bowl. But last season, Patrick Mahomes threw for 7 yards per attempt, which was the lowest of his career. He threw for 6.9 air yards per attempt, again, the lowest of his career. It's an interesting pairing of stats. A 10.4 yard per completion, which was the lowest of his career. Hollywood Brown's career average is 11.3. Hollywood Brown's career high is 13.3. Hollywood Brown has played with Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. Hollywood Brown has never played football with Patrick Mahomes. He's never played football with a quarterback anywhere near the passer that is Patrick Mahomes. No, we made all of this about Marquez Valdes-Scantling coming to the Kansas City Chiefs, and hey, he's worked with Rodgers, who's probably got the most comparable arm to Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. People still say that Rodgers has the most talented arm in the NFL. I don't know how you make that claim with Patrick Mahomes existing, but it is what it is. Last season, Patrick Mahomes accounted for 261.4 yards per game. Again, the lowest of his career. Hollywood Brown averages 50.6 yards per game, which would be, or in his career high, is 63 yards per game. Both of these numbers very close enough to what would be 20% of Patrick Mahomes' passing yards or total accounted for yards per game last season. Here's a couple interesting stats here. Last season, Patrick Mahomes suffered the wrath of 39 dropped passes. This is the most of his entire career. Last season, Hollywood Brown dropped 4 passes. His career low is 2 passes in the course of a season. Last season, Mahomes had a 6.9% drop percentage. That's bad. Here's something that is interesting. Last season, Patrick Mahomes had 75 quote-unquote bad throws, which was the lowest of his entire career. He had an on-target percentage of 80.7, which is the highest of his career. Meaning, it is not just that Patrick Mahomes had to adjust the way that he plays football in order to struggle through the season, get to the postseason, and make it to the Super Bowl. It's not just that. It is that Patrick Mahomes adjusted his game and excelled at it. These numbers are maybe more useful than the fact that Patrick Mahomes had the highest completion percentage of his career, than the fact that Patrick Mahomes had the highest, I believe the highest efficiency numbers of his career. Some of the efficiency numbers, I can't remember which ones. But these numbers mean that not only did he adjust his game to a shorter game, he excelled at it. He figured out what it was you have to do to win games in those ways. He stopped making bad throws. His accuracy went up. What are we going to see? More bad throws than 75 in the 2024 NFL season? I would wager to bet yes, because I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to be pushing the ball further downfield. It is more difficult to be accurate on those downfield throws, but it is not going to matter because the defenses will be loosened up so much that he will be able to bit and piece teams all the way down the field. That's the interesting thing. If instead of being the deep threat, Hollywood Brown is the 10 to 19 yard guy, instead of being a deep threat, Xavier Worthy is a 10 to 19 yard guy, this offense is just going to dash defenses bit by bit. Maybe they won't be the home run ball offense that we saw in 2018. Maybe they won't. They're going to be nearly unstoppable so long as everyone is healthy and everyone is playing up to their full potential, anywhere near their full potential. And these numbers really prove that, because last season the Kansas City Chiefs did not have the wide receivers, and so they had to adjust their game to a shorter type of field, to first downs instead of touchdowns. Here, they're going to have the wide receivers to at least try it a couple times per game. Now, maybe it still goes defunct. Do you trust Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy to be better short yardage targets than Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore? If so, the Kansas City Chiefs have upgraded their offense regardless of what offense it is that they are trying to run. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Kansas City Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.